Welcome back to Games Revealed. I'm James and also the Brink, and we are one community. Today, we're going to be streaming about a bunch of different games. Namely, it's going to be games with a little bit of hardware, as the past few weeks have been rich in hardware news. Game news has been just picking up a little bit more just the past week or two. I mean, there's always been news, but we got stuff to talk about. So, as it's not quite the time yet, let me just ping Discord. Let's see here. Okay. Okay, let's get ready. Just gonna mosey on over. So, yeah, gotta wait for a couple more some peeps to pop on in. Make sure my computer resets, so I have to make sure the audio works and everything. But I think it is. Okay. Kind of just do it like this. My notes are off to the side. Well, notes and also like stuff that we're going to be viewing. Today we're going to be talking about is Disney buying Epic Games. U.S. gamers spent record amount of money last year, but with inflation, I don't know if that counts. Honestly, I kind of see it as like a topping out, but we'll talk about that. Then we're going to be also like, are we getting the best games with how volatile the game industry is right now, including layoffs, end of Xbox, modular portable gaming, and if we can get into it, Helldivers, Nightingale, Banishers, and Horizon Forbidden West. We'll get into those at the end if we have enough time. So I have quite a list here, and so we have plenty to chat about depending on how much people want to chat with me today. That being said, how's it going, Rachie? How you doing? Sometimes when I don't promote the video early enough, it gets very empty in here. So, Rachie, Disney buying Epic. Now, even Gabe Newell will be part of the party smashing poor Disney. Okay. Disney is not buying Epic Games. Let's be clear. So, I tricked everyone that saw the title and saw Epic is getting bought by Disney, being bought by Disney. It's not. But the reason I worded it the way I did is that I have a purpose. It's not lying. It potentially could happen. Disney made over $80 to $85 billion last year. I don't remember how much Epic's worth, but it's definitely lower than that. And the way that these acquisitions happen, I could see it happening depending on how much Disney wants to control of it. That being said, what Disney is doing is that they're going to own a part of Epic Games. So they're investing $1.5 billion to acquire some equity into Epic Games. And honestly, I think that's better. If Disney and some other companies like just bought parts of Epic Games, I think that's the best course that we could go down. Because Chinese company owns, I don't think a Chinese company owns 50%. I think it owns a little less than 50. I don't think they have a majority stake in it. But we don't want it to be owned by any one entity per se, at least as of right now. I just don't think that's going to be good. Raichi, well, with what's happening with Xbox, anything can happen this year. I think, Raichi, honestly, what's happening with Xbox, and we're going to get to that, is pretty freaking obvious. Like, that was going to happen, in my opinion. I think it was going to happen. That we were going to, Xbox was going to be on everything. That's their plan. We talked about this a couple of episodes or weeks ago. Could have been months ago at this point. How, and we're getting ahead of ourselves, that Xbox is, Xbox and Microsoft wants to expand Xbox Cloud Games, expand the subscription model, and also their reach. They want it to be streamed on the device, wherever it is, anywhere. I honestly think that's their plan. And their plan, like their multi-year plan, kind of delves into that we went into. Okay, so back to Disney and Epic Games. What they're doing is that Disney uses Epic Games for a ton of different things. Games. You've got games like I think the Star Wars games for sure. They also use it for, I'm trying to remember where this was at. Kingdom Hearts. I knew that Disney's been using it. Square Enix has been using it more. There's a lot of different companies that are using the tech that Epic has. We should say Epic, not just Epic Games. Epic, because it's also including Unreal. So they also film a lot of like Marvel TV shows with Epic's film, or like Epic's Unreal Engine's movie suite or whatever it is. They have a suite that allows you to essentially have a green screen and really do a good job of filming and presenting in a 3D world that looks realistic. So it's pretty intense. So I'm not surprised. Honestly, if I saw that like Epic or Disney was trying to buy Epic, I wouldn't be that surprised. Disney's more and more getting into the Epic field, and I think they like to own the tech that they usually build off of, typically. Depends. I think companies change. I think Disney's one. Now, $2 billion. And this is one I didn't realize the number to, but last year, in fact, I believe it's in here. Yeah. Sounds a lot like Epic's recent collaboration with Lego. In 2022, Epic received a $2 billion investment, which was split between Sony and Kirkby, an investment company helmed by the family behind Lego, which resulted in the launch of the survival game Lego Fortnite earlier this year. That launch was part of the new era for Fortnite. So it's pretty interesting to see, like, because there's a Lego Fortnite game. There is, I didn't even know Sony went that far into it, but yeah, Sony's getting into bed with it. I'm curious what Sony games, so like PlayStation games, that are going to be using Epic. Pretty much Epic. I think Unity. I want a competitor, but I think Epic has kind of won the AAA battle, right? I think Unity's still holding on to the indie title, but then we have, you have Unity, Godot, and then Unreal. So Godot is kind of like the new up-and-comer. And so, yeah. Raichi, many Xbox gamers may go PC handheld. You can try to reach some Xbox channel and explain the handheld market. Exactly. Raichi, tomorrow we are getting Doki Doki Library free on Epic. I heard good stuff from it. There you go. Yeah, Doki Doki's that like, it's a story-based game, right? Okay, so beyond it, like, honestly, there's not more than like Walt Disney Company and Epic Games will collaborate on an all-new games and entertainment universe that will further expand the reach of beloved Disney stories and experiences. Disney will also invest $1.5 billion. I'm sure they want to make sure that like they have investment with it, and I'm sure some niceties come with that huge investment. Probably like they don't have to pay for anything else since they're owners now. The transition is partial owners. They have partial ownership. The transaction is subject to customary closing conditions. Okay. So there's a new universe coming that's going to be parallel with Fortnite, I guess. Honestly, this looks like a play that Disney's like, well, I don't know if we're growing in the teen area anymore. We know that everyone plays Fortnite, so let's play let's get the company that's associated with Fortnite, and maybe associate, get our whole universe onto there. And I just don't know if I see Elsa or these like Disney characters having guns. Obviously, welcome, Wolf. Tron Evolution is still locked because Disney stopped paying the DRM. Yeah, no, that's which is such a garbage thing that can even happen, Raichi, that games can be locked, and we've had this discussion many a times, but yeah, it's pretty effed up. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. About the Epic Games stuff, like they're building it. They want to invest more into a company that tech they use a ton of. They want to build a new venture with them. That's like Lego. I think it's kind of like Lego, Fortnite, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So it'll be interesting. And maybe this is boring, but we're going to dive into it. How are you doing, Wolf? And how are you doing, Raichi? I don't know if I asked that. So U.S. consumer video game spending totaled $57.2 billion in 2023, up by like 4%, I believe is what it is. Maybe 3%. So yeah, it went from 57 to, 57. Yeah, it went from 56 to 57, which with inflation and all that, they technically lost money. So technically, over the last year, it kind of stalled, if you want to look at it, from the pandemic. I think from the pandemic, it grew quite a bit, and I think we're stalling a little bit. And I'm curious why. But yes, Wolf, glad you're doing at least okay. I am doing okay myself. Yeah. So, feeling great the past few days, not feeling great today. And so we're going to, for sure, keep this one's short because I have some nausea going on. Raichi, which I didn't want to say on stream, but I figured I would say it. Okay. Raichi, with all the bad movies from Disney, I wonder if they made money laundry. With all the bad movies from Disney, I wonder if they made money laundry. Are they laundering money? Is that what you're saying, Raichi? I don't think they're money laundering. What happens? What they do is they do like Hollywood accounting, and we could go into that another time. I've gone into it before, but yeah, Hollywood accounting, it just essentially says they don't make money off things, but they actually do long term quite a bit, and so they don't have to pay people, actors, and all that other stuff with their agreements as much. Nerdified, am I getting an MSI Claw? As of right now, probably not. We can look at that though here in a second. Let's look at it after this thing right here. I just want to talk about like video. I just wanted to say like the growth in video games are kind of like slowing a little bit with people probably buying other necessities and with whatever. But that's all I mean, I also thought this was interesting, and then we'll get into the MSI Claw thing. I thought this was interesting that Hogwarts Legacy grossed the most amount of money last year, and then Call of Duty. Madden, you got Marvel Spider-Man 2. You know, some of the Baldur's Gate 3 is not on there. Legend of Zelda's on there. Diablo 4, I'm not surprised. Mortal Kombat 1, I'm actually surprised by that one, but also it's a huge game. Jedi Survivor is also one I'm surprised by because it didn't get a lot of good press. But it's got big names. Then you got mobile over here. Monopoly Go was the top mobile grossing game. And we're looking at $57 billion that last year. And so, like Call of Duty series, and I believe some of the like Diablo probably also potentially made like $500 million. I don't even want to know how much money Monopoly Go made, but it was probably near $1 billion. I would not be surprised. You got Roblox, Candy Crush, Royal Match, like all these games, and they're just making. Oh man, and they're such bad games. None of the games on the mobile side are really that good except for Pokemon Go. So I just had to point that out. It's ridiculous, but it is what it is. Okay, we can go look at the MSI Claw. So for me, it's between the MSI Claw. Let's see. Oh, I didn't even know that it leaked. Yeah, let's go look at this. Good point, Nerdified. I did not know. I did know that they had a VRR that was between 48 and 120. Sometimes hardware news doesn't get, when I go looking for it, doesn't get populated. So yeah. Oh, they have 3 different SKUs, huh? Oh, that makes sense. So this is the Ultra 5, the Ultra 7, and the Ultra. I thought they only had 2. Okay. Yeah, and it says leaked, but I'm pretty sure we knew that it was going to be in March. I believe it's in April 1st. I mean, April 1st is the release date. So, for anyone that's interested in the MSI Claw, its release date rumor as it stands, the MSI Claw A1M release date looks set to be Monday, April 1st, 2024. This is according to Spanish online retailer PC Components, who have both Intel Core Ultra 7 models up for sale with prices and delivery date of between April and 1st and 2nd, which is, these companies need to start realizing like what April 1st is. You got ROG Ally like ASUS that launched a campaign on April 1st, which was just, it tricked me and not tricked me. It's really weird. Me personally, I have a lot of trips coming up. And so only one of them I need to spend money on. But if I can, Nerdified still loving the Legion Go. Dude, I'm happy for you. And honestly, it hurts me to like how many people love it that I just didn't enjoy it as much. That being said, like I thought it was good. I want a bigger screen though, like the Legion Go for sure. So yeah, it's because it's a 7-inch screen, and with everything else about it, I just don't like. The Intel Ultra 5 or 7 could give us better performance and like battery to performance ratio, maybe better performance than the RG Ally for battery usage, or just all around better battery usage too. So I just don't know what to say. Like I think right now it's a 53 watt, which the ROG Ally is a 40 watt. Yeah. It's quite a bit big. Yeah, this is best in class. Technically it is. And with that Intel, it could really take out the ROG Ally. We'll see. I'm a little hesitant of Intel and their APUs. They've always been a little buggy depending on what the manufacturer board is, like the main board. Depends on how good the main board is. AMD tends to have a little bit better, in my experience, better support for main boards from other companies, but that's from my experience with these things. So it will be interesting to see, because I don't want to buy another device, but at the same time, if this is going to be legitimately like all around better than the ROG Ally, then I might potentially sell the ROG Ally and get something like this, just to round out my whole everything I have. So Nerdified. It's gotten better since launch. The Legion Go. I had the Legion Go up until a couple of weeks ago, and then I returned it partially because I needed to pay for a trip, also partially because I needed to return it. Like I said in my review of it, or my overview, or whatever it was, I did video of. I'm still interested in it in the future. If they can make the software much better, and I see a video actually of it working, because every time they had an update, it got a little better, but not nearly enough to even convince me. I really don't think it's a comfortable device, but I love the large screen on it. That's like, I love it so much. And I want a device like it. So I'm all for it. I'm kind of hoping that they refresh it at the end of this year, and I'd buy the Legion Go 2 if they did something like that. Rate sheet, great hardware, bad software. Yes, but I don't think the ergonomics on it were great. I think they could have done better with the ergonomics. When does the new Ally come out? We don't know when the new Ally comes out, but it's going to come out at one point this year. Most likely. It's still being teased and everything like that. I'm sure they're like, well, we're going to either do the new Intel, or maybe they're working with AMD on a Z2 processor, which I think they're going to work on a Z2 processor. I wouldn't be surprised. What's up, Chad, maybe Cat, and Baby? Rachie, we have to remember the Steam Deck was a nightmare in compatibility the first 3 months. Agreed. Agreed. But completely different problems. So the Legion Go, its problem is that it's dry. It just doesn't have good software, meaning to make it feel like a console-like experience. The ROG Ally does, meaning when it launches up, I think you can even have it launch into its handheld software, where it uses the joysticks really easily to control, navigate, change settings, all that, and it's really good. Legion Go, I had so many hiccups with it and things that just didn't quite work. Also, the interface is clunky and all. I'm not trying to hate on it. Once you get a game running and then it runs decent, like it runs good. It's got a bigger battery than ROG Ally, but it's also got a bigger screen. All around is a good device. It just wasn't quite for me, at least at that point. So I wouldn't say the ROG Ally or the Legion Go's hardware is better in any one thing. Nerdified, I really hope they don't pump devices yearly. Here's the thing. Why does it... I don't understand. I mean, maybe for resellability's stance, but like, I don't understand the worry behind, let's say, a company like ASUS and Lenovo coming out with a new model every year, like they do in laptops. Sometimes it's not every year, but it's for simplicity's sake, we'll say every year. Sometimes it can be a year and a half. It just depends on when hardware refreshes and stuff like that happen, especially with AMD. In this case, there's a chance that it will happen. Like Legion, and I doesn't make the device that you have any worse per se. That being said, it doesn't make it any worse. It's just if they stop supporting it and don't upgrade that software, then yes, it can make it worse. But if it's a Windows device, the drivers are most likely going to be sharing some similarities between the newer version, the older version, and then also on top of it, the software that I most don't like is not the drivers themselves, even though I do think there's some issues with BIOS, which is a slightly different thing. The just desktop software, the software that the launcher software, the software that controls the configurations and all that. That's what I'm talking about. And they can make that generationally easy to update. So same thing with Steam. If Steam Deck 2 came out now, they'd still support the Steam Deck 1, and a lot of the software changes and fixes would probably persist over. Nerdified, I wish they would take time to perfect the current devices before putting out another like Steam Deck. Well, here's the thing, Nerdified. Perfecting the device, whatever they do this point to it is most likely would be able to persist. Like I said, persist over. Drivers are going to be very similar if they stick with AMD. It's just generational leaps. The drivers aren't that big a deal when it comes to it. For the most of the drivers, like obviously there's some drivers that are a little different, but I'm talking about video card drivers, I guess. And then that software I was talking about, the desktop / launcher software, that would persist. Like if they make an update to the main project, it would most likely update for the older one. So I don't see how a newer device would hurt it too much. Depends on how they handle it. So we'll see. I think ASUS handles their Armory software pretty well. Armory was a thing before. I believe it was a thing. No, it was a thing before the ASUS ROG Ally. So yeah, Richie. The problem with Windows handhelds gaming is all the firewall, DRM, and pop-up that can happen and need a mouse and keyboard to go back to the home screen. You can disable a lot of that stuff, but yeah, I agree. Pop-ups do you don't need a mouse keyboard. It just gets kind of annoying, right? So yeah. Buyer's regret and worrying about the gen is so much better than one you bought. Yeah, no, that's the thing. It's laptops, handhelds. I don't know if it's going to be like a true every year, but expect it to probably happen about on average in between a year and two. They'll probably do a refresh. As long as it's selling well enough, they'll do that. And I could see this is, I think, a big new market for them to sell into. So we'll see. Depends. If they didn't make a good enough sell, then they probably won't invest into it as much. We'll see though. And the MSI Claw there's a small chance I'll get it, but let's say if this is later this year, then 100% I'd get it and I'd review it and sell it. Cause I only need one or two devices and I'll sell whatever device I don't need to use. Raichi, we have to see the Steam Deck is an iPhone with years of updates and other handheld PC as a Chinese brand Android stock on the Android version it came out. Yeah, it's really interesting. So Apple comes out with new iPhones every year. And the software and the updates stay the same, right? Like when you in the sense of a new update comes out and it works for the older iPhones up to a certain point. They have and that maybe that's where it would help with some people. But I, especially for doing content for YouTube and all that, the more devices they come out with, the more I can cover it. So for me, I guess it's a good thing. Maybe that's where I'm coming from, but maybe they could do end of life services in the sense of, okay, we're going to support the Steam Deck for 5 years guaranteed. The ROG Ally is going to be guaranteed a 4-year update cycle. If they could do stuff like that, I think it would help a lot. Because if they do, let's say release an ROG Ally 2 and it's greatly different and they don't continue to support one, it will kill their brand. So they need to treat these like consoles, or console lights. It's probably the best way to think of a handheld PC gaming device, or that they're console lights. It's light as in it's not a full console. The console cycle is not going to be every 7 years. It's going to be every 2 or 3 years, depending on who's the maker. And then you can think of it as, okay, they need to support it for that period. And there's a lot more. It has console-like experience, but it's not a true console. You can still delve into the depths of what Linux and Windows has, which is beyond what a console truly can do. So yeah, MSI Claw is definitely on my radar. I'm really curious to see what it can do, and I think we can. I should probably look into this, but you can probably get probably get performance metrics and all that. So, okay. Let's move on. I was going to cover this. I think we'll cover this next time. Since we're into hardware, I want to go over this. Gosh dang it. Okay. So this came out a couple of weeks ago. This is a review. Raichi, the claw gimmick is it's Intel. Also, it's a bit smaller. Well, I wouldn't go as far as a gimmick. I don't think it's a gimmick, but yeah, it definitely is. I'm sure they wanted. Maybe they have a better. I don't know. I don't know about MSI, but maybe they have a better relationship with Intel. Intel's came to them, was like, hey, we'll front some of the bill for this if you use our new processor in it, so that we can get our foot in the door. There could be a myriad of different reasons they went this route, but I'm definitely thinking that this Ultra 7 is going to be able to compete bare minimum with the 68 or 7840U or the Ryzen Z1 Extreme. I honestly think this Ultra 7 is going to compete with it. And it's probably going to be one of these devices or APUs that's going to compete. Some things it will do better, some things it will do worse. But the problem ultimately is, will it be a good mobile handheld processor compared to AMD, where AMD has multiple devices, millions of devices out there that use their tech. Chad, not to derail, but the top part of my gauntlet is almost done. Let's go. Oh, nice. Chad, dude, that's awesome. That's awesome. Dude, how much longer until your whole set's done? Do you have quite a bit more? Okay, so Framework 16. If you guys haven't heard, this is a modular laptop, which is interesting, and I wanted to bring up the concept of a modular handheld device, like the Steam Deck. You got the ASUS ROG Ally. I mean, I keep on saying all these names full. The Ally, the Go, the everything. Would we ever get a modular? And in some ways, I would say the Steam Deck is close to being modular. And honestly, I don't know if I need something that's this modular like this laptop. I just want it to be like parts in it I can remove and put something else in that's very similar. Chad, you have quite a bit left of your computer, or not computer, of your gauntlets and your costume to print out. It's not a bad thing to have, though. You have plenty of time. Wolf, I remember they were coming out with a modular phone. Yeah, I think they went away from that, didn't they? And so there's a laptop. I believe Linus from Linus Tech Tips invested in this company. It's interesting. It's a $2,300 device, which it says it has a hefty premium price. I don't know, maybe. It's got the angular design, yeah, a little janky, which is going to be like that. Like you can remove the keyboard, the numpad, the touchpad. Now, here's the problem: is you're gonna have to have third party or first party develop stuff specifically for this. So unless other companies kind of get on board, it's only going to be one company supporting this, and so we'll see. Depending on how long this company sticks around for, will actually determine if this is a viable solution. But I like, you have to buy the mod separately. It depends on what it is. Most likely, yes. Richie, would you buy a handheld display where you can connect a micro PC on the back? Maybe. I don't know. That's the thing. It just depends. I don't know if I would need it. That's the problem, is that there's so many devices, so many different types of things. Like this right here, I don't need this right now. I have my MacBook. I have my handheld gaming devices. This is not for me. I'm pretty content, and honestly, I'm kind of delving back into Apple more, just because the ecosystem is very cohesive for me. or synergetic is a better word. So, I like the specs of it. I think for like a gaming laptop, this is decent enough. 7080M. It's good. Battery is 85 watts. I'm kind of curious how well that will do. But then, let's say in 2 or 3 years, I want to upgrade it, and I don't want to buy a whole new laptop, which we'll see how they design it. My laptops, after 2 or 3 years, start to get little dings and beat up a little bit, and it's kind of nice to just refresh it. I know that's very consumer-esque and very wasteful, e-waste, and I talk about e-waste. I'm not a big fan of it. I'm curious to see actually in reality the concept of this. That being said, now if they had little ports like this, they're little USB-C ports, which is kind of cheating, I feel like. They had stuff like this on the Steam Deck, I might be for it, so I could swap out. Like, I'd rather have another USB-C than an audio jack. I don't use the audio jack pretty much at all. I've used it to test headphones, and that was it for a video. Beyond that, I use the USB-C and the micro SD card. Like, if I use headphones with it, they're Bluetooth. If I use a mouse, it's Bluetooth or USB. So it'd be nice to have the 2 slots. So, yeah. That's why I think this is a really cool concept. I think that this is something that would be useful for maybe portable PC gaming, but yeah, I just don't see it happening right now. But maybe in the future, who knows? We never know what's going to happen. People are going to get bored with the same Z stuff, and so it could really change over. As far as, let's see, gaming. I wish that they would have done other devices that would have been in like another 7700. Oh, wow, that's 100 watts, and it still is getting beaten by most things. Huh. Interesting. So Cyberpunk can get, but that's at Ultra. Okay. Bring Metro Exodus into this, and it's the best performing one. Horizon Zero Dawn, best performing one. Hitman, still the best performing one. Okay. So, yeah, real-time ray tracing is probably where this is really getting killed in. Nerdified, I have a Razer, but my son uses it now. It's a 15-inch Razer. I think it's an OLED, too. It's like an OLED touchscreen or something like that. It is a nice laptop. I bought it a few years ago. I just haven't used it in a while, so I let him play Minecraft and stuff, and he plays with me on it. USB-A would be welcome. On the Steam Deck, nah. Honestly, one of my biggest problems with, and this is super weird, is one of my biggest problems with Apple's iPhone. Because honestly, iPhone, Android, they're so similar. I don't care. I do have, like, for the most part, there are a couple of really nice things about Google that I really do like, but the USB-C, the connector, I don't want to have 2 different connectors in my house. I already have a ton of adapters from USB-C to USB-A style, like the old school style. So I don't in any way want a USB-A, but that's my opinion on it. I want us to go completely the USB-C and just try to phase out as much as possible. And if you need to use an old school USB port, use an adapter. But yes, Nerdified, I do have a Razer. I think it's got like a 2070 Super in it or something like that. Super, probably mobile processor potentially. Well, it is obviously a mobile processor. It's pretty beastly, but it's like, yeah, a few years old, and I don't use it because I game on my main computer or on handheld gaming devices, even though it's not as good. Just how my life is. Okay, so interesting. Temps wise, quite a bit hotter. Wow. CPU is quite a bit hotter, but the GPU, but AMD's CPUs tend to be hotter. Okay. As far as that, I do want to just point out a couple of games that are coming out soon. And I want to do this in the sense of, we won't talk about Horizon Forbidden West this time, but Helldivers 2, Nightingale, and Banishers. These are, in fact, we'll put it in the way that they're coming out. Helldivers comes out tomorrow, which is my son's birthday. This one actually looks really good. I'll be honest. Let's see here. It's a third-person shooter, and if you've ever seen, what is it called? It's essentially like that movie. It's not Super Troopers. It's the one though that you fight space bugs, and this kind of reminds me of that. So the original one was a top-down. Helldivers is a top-down. You fight a bunch of bug and other enemies in a futuristic piece like this. Now it's going from top-down or essentially top-down to not Super 8, but Super 8's not a bad reference. But Super 8, I don't think you could fight against like, wow, that's an old one. That was one of the games I would play. But Starship Troopers, yes, thank you, Nerdified. So Starship Troopers is what it's kind of like. Even though, they have factions, but you see like there's alien creatures. In fact, that's what I've mainly played against with Helldivers was alien creatures. But just to note that this week, Pal World is not the top selling game this week. Helldivers is. Helldivers is the top purchased game on Steam this week, so it hasn't come out yet, but it's looking really good. So I wanted to throw it out there. It's a fun. It's meant to be a co-op. It's meant to, and it's like, I believe, short missions. So you go, you drop down in, you do short missions, and then you finish the mission up, and that's how it plays. I can't remember if it's like how the missions end. Maybe they're always like you do the mission until you die, but I think they're just short missions. Really fun. Honestly, it's like $40, I think. Yeah, it's $40. I will probably be buying this and playing it because this is my type of game. Especially if they stick to that short mission where I can play like an hour and just stop. I'm all for that, especially multiplayer. My problem these days, like with survival, is I love them, like Forest, Pal World, but they require so much time, and I can get involved where I don't have a cutoff point. If I have a game that's like this, then I can just say, okay, play in one game, done. Kind of like I used to play, it's Riot. Oh my gosh, my brain is League of Legends, and yeah, like that. Man, I want to go back and play Super 8 now. Back 4 Blood, not quite the same. Back 4 Blood's a little different, but this is mission based. But Helldivers, I believe, is more mission based. But yeah, it's like you could think of it a little bit like Diablo, maybe, but that was the original. I don't know how they're. I've followed it, but not well enough. Rachie, I need a game of Ender video game. You need an Ender, like Ender's Game? Ender's Game video game. Oh, you want the Ender's Game from the game. Okay, from the book. Okay, Rachie. I mean, that's not a bad idea. I do want to play Super 8 now, and I need to finish Back 4 Blood. Okay. The next one is Banishers, and this is honestly, I'm really worried this is not going to do well. I love the premise of this, and I talk about it in the newest podcast episode I need to get released, which Susie knows more about it than me, but it looks fun. It's action-based. I believe RPG, but it's a story-based game where you go around a world trying to, banish you banish ghosts and other creatures and stuff like that, but your wife's dead. I don't remember if you're trying, because it says in the trailer like you're trying to help her somehow, but this looks really, really fun from a narrative standpoint, and it's something I can finish, which, that's always a big win for me. That being said, it comes out in 5 days, and I have not heard a lot on it. It is $50, which is kind of a cool price. And that's the bundle price, so that comes with the DLC. Nice. The DLC is free, though. I am really worried that this is not going to sell well, or it's going to be like 1886, right? 1886 was one of those games where you're like, there's no replayability in this. It was a little two-story based, and we'll see. I'm excited for this. Really curious. I think it will be either a sleeper hit. I don't think it will do like the world's best, but I think it's a sleeper hit, but we'll see. Just want to throw that out there. This is definitely one I'm picking up this month. There's a couple of games I'm picking up this month. Helldivers at one point. Banishers, Nightingale. If Banishers gets really bad review, maybe not, though. And Sucker for Love. And also, yes, Wolf. I'm going to definitely be streaming Sucker for Love. And definitely the car game. I submitted, if I get approved for a key for that, I will cover that on Games Revealed, too. I'll do a full video on that. Whatever drive. So I submitted to get a key. We'll see. If not, I'm just going to buy it and we'll play it on Discord, Twitch. Then, yes, Nightingale. And then Wolf mentions that the creatures in Nightingale look really cool. I agree. Let's see here. We're pretty much almost done. So let's Pacific Drive. Yes. So Pacific Drive is the other one. Those are like, honestly, February has probably the most games I'm most interested in. Yeah, same Wolf. Triple Magic Dude, welcome. For me, Seventh Rebirth, Tomb Raider 1 through 3 remaster, and I guess that's it. I hope Tomb Raider sells well. It really feels like a developer's care. Yeah, well, here's the thing. Triple Magic Dude, they got rid of the only thing that makes the original Tomb Raiders good. It's a certain triangle something. Once I played Tomb Raider, and that's how I grew up, I could only go with triangles. Couldn't go with anything else that was rounded. No. It looks good enough. I want to play the newer Tomb Raiders, and I have not played the newest Tomb Raiders. But I agree. I need to finish Final Fantasy VII's, the first one of the remakes, before I get into anything that's a second this year. I need to finish the first. But I'm going to get super distracted because I honestly think I'm going to play a lot of Nightingale. I'm really excited for this. It's co-op survival-based game that is magic, guns, old-timey feel, which with some I'm really hoping that they delve further into a little bit of Cthulhu kind of style. I mean, with large enemies like that is kind of Cthulhu style. But I am really curious to see how they go about it. Rachie, you can always download asset pack mod for those triangle. Oh my gosh. Guaranteed it's going to have it. It's like, everything looks great, but do you miss the triangles? Yes. Yes, I do. Dude, there's so many videos on YouTube making fun of that too. It looks good. This is coming out in early access, so it'll be interesting to see. Hey, Necrosure, welcome. It will be interesting to see how well put together this is as an early access. Yeah, Inflection Games, I swear this isn't their first. Oh, it is. I swear Nightingale was made by another studio. So this is a first-time indie studio. Okay, interesting. Do they have developed? Are they? I'm curious now. Huh. We'll see if this is a third hit for survival games this year. There's a good chance. There's actually, yeah, we won't go into it. Oh my gosh, dude, there's a Pacific Driver. Okay, that's cool. Pacific Drive. Oh, it's because of the Next Fest. Oh my gosh. That's going on right now. I'm not even covering Next Fest right now. No wonder all these indie games are coming out right around now. There we go. Probably explains why there's not as many people on stream too. True Blue Magic Dude, if you miss the triangles, they have a button to toggle old graphics like Halo 1 Remaster. I won't use it, but it's there. There you go, True Blue Magic Dude. Okay. I mean, I semi-jest, to be honest. But that is good to know. That's a really cool feature. I do like Halo's feature for that. When I play the original Halo, I love jumping between the original and the new graphic style on that. I really love it. Wolf, you can do it too. Like the demo's right there, so we can give it a try. I'm excited. It looks fun, and it's nice that a lot of the games I want this month are very cheap in comparison to like $70 games. Rachie, there's a Mecha Stardew Valley release soon. Ooh, yeah. Let's see Next Fest. Since I am a scrub and did not pay attention to this, I was thinking about doing it with the Steam Pals, but I'm just trying not to overcommit yet. I'm just getting back into getting videos out. Okay, let's see. TerraTech Worlds, is that what you're talking about? I think we've known about TerraTech Worlds for a while. It has a demo. It does not have a release date, but it has a demo. Okay, cool. I want to try Omega Crafter. Y'all gotta try out Mold Mad Jack demo. I just played through the whole demo and it's badass. Ooh. Dungeon Born. Let's see. Dread Dawn. Looks like an interesting game. Let's see. Most wish-listed games. Stormgate. That looks interesting. Pacific Drive has got like that 6th place. Huh. That Dungeon Born also looks pretty interesting. Wait, what? Damn it. Clicked the wrong thing. You wish Nerdified wishes they would remake Hexen? Maybe. Well, I don't think I've ever played Hexen. The game is Lightyear Frontier. Oh, Lightyear Frontier. Okay. Cool. This is a story. Oh, yeah. This is the one that's kind of like StarCraft in some ways. They have a demo? Frost Giant Studios does. I swear they. Oh, no. This is. Honestly, I'm down for this. I am fully down for this. I'm sorry, guys. I'm shopping. I'm gonna download this demo too. I love StarCraft, and this is like StarCraft. I'm fully down for this. Did Day 9 have anything to do with this? I don't know. Frost Giant, where many veterans of Blizzard's now defunct RTS team have banded together, is giving us the closest thing we'll probably ever get to StarCraft 3 with Stormgate. I can't believe Blizzard's not. I cannot believe Blizzard's not making more games. Like, they have cash cows that they could be built, freaking milking, and they just. I don't know if I want to wait until it's releases, since I'll be bummed when demo is over. Agreed, but I'm going to see if it's good. I won't play it today. Maybe I'll play it on stream Friday, Wolf, but maybe we'll play some demos. Dungeonborn. Okay, is an immersive first-person PvPvE dungeon crawler adventure solo. This is essentially a copy of what's it called that we played, Wolf, with my bro-in-law. Interesting. It's not my cup of tea. It looks interesting, though. I am curious, though. Lightyear Frontier. Oh my gosh. Why is there two studios? Or two publishers? Interesting. So Amplifier, okay, so that's like Little Nightmares and stuff like that. They pick up indie games. Interesting. This makes me think of Slime Rancher in some ways. So it's like, dude, I'm always down for games like this. Interesting. Sorry, I keep on saying interesting. We're going to download that demo because I'm curious about it now. Darker and Darker, yes, Wolf. Darker and Darker definitely looks like that looked like Darker and Darker. Wolf, for Omega Crafter, it's just like Pal World but with robots, and it looks like you can make them do more than what the Pals can do. Oh, Rachel, you played a lot of demos last year and they're still not ready. Oh, it'll be on Game Pass. Which game will be on Game Pass, Rachel? Yep, Hexen. Let's see. Mullet Mad Jack. Mullet Mad Jack. Oh my gosh. This is like original Duke Nukem. Okay. I'm down to. How is this the biggest demo of them all? I don't even know what to say to that. Okay, cool. Wow. I mean, there's still more coming out this week, so yeah. Interesting. Yeah, it did look fun. Lightyear. Which was the, Lightyear Frontier, which is the, okay. If it's going to be on Game Pass, it's actually a game I would not buy, and I would probably just play on Game Pass. Because it's a game that I'll probably play for like a few hours and just kind of not pick it back up. Or I'll play for 20 hours and not pick it back up. Yeah, no. Sorry, I'm just looking to see. I think we're pretty much done for today. It's going to be the first time. We can still chat if you guys have some more. I'll look it through chat and everything. But if you still have some more comments, more things you want to talk about, pull it up. But we're close to getting done. Side Streets. Have you seen the body cam game called Lost Fragment or Unrecord using Unreal 5? I feel like I have. Let's look it up. It's not that one. It's this one. Yeah. I don't know if I could do this. But at the same time, I think I could. I think I'd want to do it VR. Is this VR? I think it'd be really hard to do VR. Like, I have this run in VR, but this is totally a game I'd play in VR. I think the movement would bother me too much if it wasn't in VR. Even if they just supported the headset VR wise and I could have a controller with it, I still would prefer it that way. This is the type of game that's going to freak me out and just like murder me. That's too realistic. Essentially, you get to a point where like, that's it. That's too realistic. I can't do that. Ooh, that Stalker game looks horrible. I can't wait. Oh my gosh. What? Okay, let's look at, this is it right here. Oh. This creature right here. Not the doggo. That thing. Ugh. Rachie, you'll need 4K VR to look good. Honestly, it could still look good without 4K VR. It's just oh yeah, it's this one. I actually think I like Lost Fragment more because it's I think it's more of a creepier atmosphere game. This one's just realistic shooting, if I remember correctly. Today. Okay. It's going to give people PTSD. Ugh. The realistic death and everything. That's pretty close. People don't die like in a lot of video games. They die in very sad ways. Where they just like lay down. Side Streets, what do you think about the DRM de novo coming to Resident Evil on Steam? I hate it. Honestly, if it breaks anything for Steam Deck or anything else or really hurts performance, I really do think they should offer discount or not discounts, but they should offer refunds, full refunds for whatever price you paid. I am not like I normally don't care about de novo too much. I don't like them adding it to it now after like so many years. There's no point. There's no point. Like they must have some agreement with de novo, and so they had to do it. I don't know. It's probably honestly as a higher up person, Japan gets really weird with their control over things, and so that's probably what's going on. And it really pisses me off because they've done such a good job of like releasing stuff that everyone loves. And then like doing good by making the community, like doing even more for the community, more than people were expecting. Raichi, the game's already cracked. 100%. That's the thing. Like even with de novo, the games get cracked. Even with with any DRM, the games get cracked to a point. There's no way getting around that. Body cam new gameplay. Yeah. Yeah. Really interesting games. I'm curious, really curious about Lost Fragment, Side Streets. Raichi, I want an indie game with ActRaiser mechanics. What's ActRaiser mechanics? Am I not? I probably. The Player must jump from platform to platform while defeating monsters to accrue a score at the... Oh my gosh. You want an indie version of this? Or you just want an indie game, the period, to come out? Because an indie VR, like a VR game like this would be like, I'd throw up. Okay. I am pretty much done for the day. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about? I'll still take questions and answer any questions you guys have, or look up anything else you want. But if we're done, we're done. I got the Pal World server back up and running, so you guys can play it. I jump on and off and play a little bits of it because it's just fun. It's a nice, relaxing game. It's fun to go capture pals, but yeah. Beyond that, I think, I think we're gonna have a lot of fun this month. I think this is really gonna be a fun month. Okay, guys. With that, thank you so much for stopping by. Yes, Nerdified, I have seen Mouse. I don't know if I'll play it, but I like that they're sticking it to the mouse a little bit. Like, obviously, it's not the same thing, but yeah, I guess we can look at it just real quick. That's what he's talking about, mouse. So you go. I know it's not really anything to do with Disney's Mickey Mouse, but like it's still got the cartoonish feel of black and white, and then you have a mouse, and you go through, and it's bloody horror filmed thing. Honestly, parts of it reminds me of X or 13 spelled in Roman numeral. I don't know why that's cel shaded. I don't think this is fully cel shaded, but it looks interesting. I just don't like. It's gonna have to be really good if I get it. So. Necrosphere, I'm going to check out some more Next Fest demos for sure. I might fill up a full, do that, and then throw it our way if you find any good ones, Necrosphere. Same with everyone else. If you find anything good, throw it into the Games Reveal Discord, and I'm going to keep an eye out. Because honestly, I'm in demo mood this month. I'm down to try a bunch of different demos. I'm glad they're coming back, because honestly, I get kind of tired of having to gamble on whether I'm going to buy a game or not. So having a demo is really nice. Okay, guys, thank you, and have a good night. Peace out. Later.